Friends, our friend Maverick Trump is always threatening about tariffs. Sometimes he raises tariffs with China, then he goes and shakes hands with Xi Jinping, sending friendly message across, tries to talk with Putin, then puts sanction on the nation, threatens NATO, threatens EU, and now he has set up a pact with the EU for tariffs and also with India. But then with India he cannot play games because he knows that the Indian market is of value to him, and to offset China he needs India. So that is why he will try to do or give tariffs to certain sectors, saving of certain, because doing anything with India will be foolhardy. But then with the European Union, he is building up a tariff, because initially the tariffs were as low as 1.25, 1.35. But then Trump has said, why give them free lunches? He has raised the tariffs. So what are these agreements? So a vast majority of the European goods will have a 15% tariff rate as bought out into the US. That includes cars, computer chips, pharmaceuticals, and that is lower than the 20% which Trump initially proposed. And his threats were initially of 50% and 30%. But then the EU President, Ms. von der Leyen, said that the two sides agreed for zero tariff on a range of strategic goods that were like aircraft and aircraft parts, certain chemicals, semiconductor equipment, certain agricultural products, and some natural resources and critical raw materials. But then there was no specific between these two. And additionally, EU would purchase about 750 billion worth of natural gas and nuclear fuel to replace Russian energy supplies, and Europeans would invest an additional 600 billion in the US. What was not in the deal was that the 50% US tariff on imported steel would still remain. So the EU said that both the sides would further negotiate to fight this global steel glut, reduce the tariffs and establish import quotas that it could get things at a lower rate. Pharmaceuticals were not included in the deal, and then the impact was that the 15% rate removed the threat of the 30% tariff which they were planning, or US was planning to put, and the baseline given by Trump was about 10%. Because the higher tariff or import taxes on European goods meant sellers in US would have to increase prices for consumer, which would be risking a loss of market share and lesser profit, and that would hurt the US economy. And the reaction is that these lower rates have been welcomed by the European countries because it benefits them, because Trump was planning on higher rates which would have not been of any use to them. But whatever keeps happening, Trump will not take a panga with India on trade cooperation. But the latest input is that Trump has put a 25% tariff on Indian goods, and he's cut up because we are buying Russian oil, and he says that we are supporting Russia in the Russian-Ukraine war. But then again he says his information says that we will stop buying Russian oil. And also he does not want to let go trade deals with India because of reasons I have already spelt out. One of his teams is coming on the August of 25th to certain mongering. So let us see how Trump carries on his tariff game. It will all be there on my channel. So keep sharing and subscribing. Jai Hind.